The Art of Persuasion, Mastering Influence to Achieve Your Desires. Introduction. The Power of Persuasion. In a world saturated with information, the ability to influence others has become a vital skill. Whether you're trying to convince your colleagues in a boardroom, negotiate a better deal, inspire a team to embrace change, or even persuade a loved one to see your perspective, the art of persuasion is omnipresent. But what is persuasion, really? At its core, persuasion is the process of guiding someone's thoughts, feelings, or behaviors toward a desired outcome. It is not merely about pushing your agenda, it's about understanding the needs and desires of others and communicating in a way that resonates with them. Imagine a scenario where you are in a meeting, and you have an innovative idea that could significantly improve the company's performance. Yet, you find that your colleagues are skeptical, resistant to change, and somewhat indifferent to your proposal. This is a common experience in both professional and personal settings. The difference between success and failure in such situations often hinges on your ability to persuade effectively. When you master the art of persuasion, you transform not just your ability to communicate, but also your relationships, career, and even your personal fulfillment. Why master persuasion? The ability to persuade is one of the most sought-after skills across various domains of life. In business, persuasion is pivotal for sales, marketing, negotiation, and leadership. A salesperson must not only understand the product but also the customer's needs, emotions, and pain points to effectively persuade them to make a purchase. In leadership, persuasion helps to inspire and motivate teams to achieve shared goals, fostering a culture of collaboration and innovation. In personal relationships, the principles of persuasion can help resolve conflicts, enhance communication, and deepen connections. Think about the countless times you've wanted to convince a friend or family member about something that mattered to you. The ability to articulate your thoughts in a way that others can understand and appreciate is essential for harmonious relationships. The misconceptions of persuasion. Unfortunately, many people view persuasion as manipulative or deceitful. This misconception can stem from negative experiences where persuasion has been misused, leading to feelings of betrayal or distrust. However, true persuasion is not about manipulation, it's about integrity and ethical influence. It is about creating value for others while also achieving your objectives. When done correctly, persuasion can foster win-win scenarios where both parties feel heard and valued. This book is designed to help you navigate the nuances of persuasion, providing you with a comprehensive understanding of its principles and techniques. From understanding the psychological underpinnings of why people make decisions to mastering the art of storytelling and emotional engagement, each chapter will guide you through the various aspects of influence. We will explore both foundational theories and practical applications, offering real-world examples that illustrate these concepts in action. A roadmap to mastery. As we embark on this journey together, you will discover that persuasion is an art that can be honed with practice and reflection. The chapters are structured to build upon each other, allowing you to progressively deepen your knowledge and skills. We will start with the fundamentals, examining the psychological aspects that drive behavior and the ethical considerations of influence. From there, we will delve into practical skills such as effective communication, rapport building, and negotiation tactics. In later chapters, we will apply these skills to various contexts, personal relationships, business environments, and leadership scenarios. You will learn how to identify and overcome resistance, address objections, and deal with challenging individuals. Each chapter will include exercises and practical tips, allowing you to apply what you've learned in real life. Your call to action. As you read this book, I encourage you to approach it with an open mind and a willingness to practice. Persuasion is not a one-size-fits-all skill, it requires adaptation to different contexts and individuals. As you explore the techniques presented, think about how you can apply them in your own life. Consider your goals and aspirations. How can mastering persuasion help you achieve them? Ultimately, this book is not just about learning to persuade others, it's about personal growth and transformation. By mastering the art of persuasion, you will enhance your ability to connect with others, express your ideas clearly, and inspire action. As you become more adept at influencing those around you, you will find that doors open in ways you never imagined. You'll be better equipped to navigate the complexities of human interaction, leading to richer relationships and more successful outcomes. So, let's dive in and embark on the transformative journey of mastering persuasion together. Each chapter is a step toward not only becoming a more persuasive individual but also a more empathetic and understanding one. By the end of this book, you will not only have the tools to achieve your desires but also the wisdom to use them responsibly and ethically. Welcome to the Art of Persuasion. Chapter 1. The Psychology of Influence. Persuasion is a nuanced dance that takes place in the realm of human interaction. At the heart of this art lies the intricate psychology of influence, a field that explores how and why people make decisions. Understanding these psychological underpinnings is crucial for anyone seeking to master the art of persuasion. This chapter will delve into the cognitive processes that shape our decision-making, the factors that lead to compliance, and the psychological principles that govern human behavior. By the end of this chapter, you will not only grasp the foundational concepts of influence but also be equipped to apply them in your pursuit of effective persuasion. The decision-making process. At the core of persuasion is the decision-making process, which can be broken down into several stages. Awareness. The first step involves the recognition of a choice. This could be as simple as deciding whether to accept an invitation or as complex as making a career change. Individuals must be aware of the options available to them. Consideration. Once aware, individuals begin to evaluate the options. This consideration can be influenced by personal preferences, societal norms, and emotional states. It's during this phase that persuasive communication can have the most significant impact. Evaluation. In this stage, people weigh the pros and cons of each option. This evaluation is heavily influenced by cognitive biases, emotions, and past experiences. Effective persuaders understand these influences and frame their messages to align with the audience's values and beliefs. Decision. After thorough evaluation, individuals make a choice. This decision can be driven by logic, emotion, or a combination of both. Post-decision justification. After making a choice, individuals often seek to justify their decision, especially if the choice was significant. Understanding this post-decision phase can help you craft messages that resonate and reinforce the decision positively. The role of cognitive biases. Cognitive biases are systematic errors in thinking that affect the decisions and judgments people make. Recognizing these biases is critical for effective persuasion. Here are some key biases that can be leveraged. Anchoring bias. This is the tendency to rely heavily on the first piece of information encountered when making decisions. For example, if someone is considering purchasing a car and the first model they see is priced at $30,000, they might view subsequent models in relation to that price. A persuasive strategy could involve positioning your offer as the best value in comparison to higher-priced alternatives. Confirmation bias. People tend to favor information that confirms their pre-existing beliefs and disregard information that contradicts them. To persuade someone, present evidence that aligns with their existing beliefs, while subtly introducing new information that nudges them toward your desired conclusion. Social proof. Individuals often look to others when making decisions, especially in uncertain situations. Highlighting testimonials, reviews, or the popularity of a product can effectively persuade someone to follow the crowd. Scarcity principle. The perception of scarcity increases the value of an item or idea. Phrases like limited time offer, or only a few left in stock, can create urgency and compel individuals to act quickly. The 6 principles of influence. Robert Cialdini, a leading researcher in the psychology of persuasion, identified 6 key principles that significantly affect the likelihood of someone saying yes. Understanding and applying these principles can enhance your persuasive abilities. Reciprocity. People feel obligated to return favors or kindness. By offering something of value up front, whether it's a small gift, valuable information, or a gesture of goodwill, you can create a sense of indebtedness that increases the likelihood of compliance. Commitment and consistency. Once people commit to something, they are more likely to follow through. Start with small requests that align with your larger goal. This principle is often utilized in fundraising. Individuals are more likely to donate after they have already made a smaller contribution. Social proof. As mentioned earlier, individuals look to others for guidance, especially in ambiguous situations. Utilizing testimonials, case studies, and social validation can significantly bolster your persuasive efforts. Authority. People tend to obey figures of authority. Establishing your expertise or aligning your message with recognized authorities can enhance your persuasive credibility. Liking. We are more likely to be influenced by those we like. Building rapport, finding common ground, and establishing a connection can enhance your persuasive effectiveness. Scarcity. As noted, the perception of scarcity can create urgency. Highlighting limited availability or time-sensitive offers can motivate individuals to act quickly. The role of emotions in decision-making. While cognitive processes are essential in decision-making, emotions often play an even more significant role. Emotions can cloud judgment, prompt immediate reactions, and heavily influence decisions. Recognizing the emotional landscape of your audience is crucial for effective persuasion. Here are a few emotional triggers to consider. Fear. This can be a powerful motivator. While it's important not to manipulate, highlighting potential negative outcomes can spur action. For example, a health campaign might emphasize the dangers of smoking to persuade individuals to quit. Joy and happiness. Positive emotions can create a favorable disposition toward a message. Showcasing success stories or positive outcomes can evoke feelings of happiness and optimism, making your message more appealing. Trust and security. Creating a sense of safety can significantly influence decision-making. By demonstrating reliability, providing guarantees, or showcasing transparency, you can foster a sense of trust. The importance of context. Understanding that context matters in persuasion is crucial. The same message delivered in different contexts can yield vastly different results. Factors such as timing, location, and the relationship between the persuader and the audience all play significant roles in the effectiveness of persuasion. For example, a request made in a formal setting may carry more weight than a casual request made in a social context. Practical application. To effectively apply the insights from this chapter, consider the following strategies. Assess the audience, understand their beliefs, values, and emotional states. Tailor your message accordingly to address their needs and concerns. Leverage cognitive biases. Be aware of biases that may affect your audience's decision-making. Craft your messages to mitigate negative biases and reinforce positive ones. Utilize Cialdini's principles. Implement the 6 principles of influence in your interactions. Assess which principle resonates most with your audience and adapt your approach. Emphasize emotional appeal. Identify the emotional triggers relevant to your message. Utilize storytelling and vivid imagery to evoke the desired emotions. Be mindful of context. Choose the right time and place for your persuasive efforts. Consider how your relationship with the audience influences their receptivity. Conclusion. Understanding the psychology of influence is the first step in mastering the art of persuasion. By recognizing the cognitive biases that shape decision-making, the emotional triggers that motivate action, and the principles of influence identified by Cialdini, you can enhance your ability to persuade effectively. This foundational knowledge will serve as a launching pad for the skills and techniques discussed in the subsequent chapters, allowing you to apply these insights in a variety of contexts, from personal relationships to professional settings. As you continue on your journey to becoming a master of persuasion, remember that the ultimate goal is to create genuine connections and foster mutually beneficial outcomes. Chapter 2. The 7 Pillars of Persuasion. In the complex world of human interaction, the ability to persuade effectively is built upon foundational principles. Understanding these principles, or the pillars of persuasion, will empower you to influence others more successfully, whether in personal relationships, business settings, or broader social contexts. This chapter will delve into each of the 7 pillars: reciprocity, scarcity, authority, commitment, consistency, liking, and consensus. By the end of this chapter, you will have a comprehensive understanding of these elements and practical strategies for incorporating them into your persuasive toolkit. Pillar 1: Reciprocity. Understanding reciprocity. The principle of reciprocity is rooted in the social norm that encourages mutual exchange. It suggests that when someone does something for you, you naturally feel obliged to return the favor. This norm is universal across cultures and plays a significant role in building relationships and fostering cooperation. Practical application. Give first. To leverage the reciprocity principle, offer something of value to others before making a request. This could be a compliment, assistance, valuable information, or a small gift. For example, a salesperson who provides a free sample or consultation is more likely to receive a purchase in return. Create a favor exchange. Establish an environment where mutual favors can flourish. This can be particularly effective in workplace settings, where collaboration can lead to a culture of reciprocity, enhancing team cohesion and productivity. Use the door-in-the-face technique. This involves starting with a large request that you expect will be refused, followed by a smaller request. The person is likely to feel a sense of obligation to say yes to the smaller request after having refused the larger one. Pillar 2: Scarcity. Understanding scarcity. The scarcity principle posits that people place higher value on things that are perceived as limited or rare. When faced with the possibility of losing out on something, individuals are more likely to act quickly and decisively. This principle taps into the human instinct for self-preservation and desire for exclusivity. Practical application. Highlight limited availability. When promoting a product or service, emphasize its limited availability or time-sensitive nature. Phrases like "only a few left" or "offer ends soon" can create urgency and compel immediate action. Create exclusive opportunities. Offering exclusive access to events, products, or services can significantly enhance their perceived value. For instance, a VIP experience for a concert or a limited edition product can attract attention and drive sales. Showcase competition. Demonstrating that others are also interested in a product or service can heighten its desirability. For example, displaying the number of people viewing an item online or the number of reservations left can leverage the scarcity principle. Pillar 3: Authority. Understanding authority. People are more likely to follow the advice or directives of someone they perceive as an authority figure. This pillar is grounded in the psychological tendency to trust and obey experts, particularly in situations where individuals feel uncertain or lack knowledge. Practical application. Establish your expertise. To be seen as an authority, share your credentials, experience, or qualifications relevant to the topic at hand. This could involve showcasing your achievements, publishing articles, or speaking at events. Cite credible sources. When making claims or recommendations, support them with references from established authorities in the field. This could include research studies, expert testimonials, or data from reputable organizations. Use endorsements. Collaborating with well-known figures can enhance your authority. An endorsement from a recognized expert or influencer can significantly boost your credibility and persuade your audience to align with your message. Pillar 4: Commitment. Understanding commitment. The commitment principle suggests that once people commit to an idea or action, they are more likely to follow through. This principle is tied to the human desire for consistency and integrity in one's beliefs and behaviors. Practical application. Start small. Begin by asking for a small commitment that is easy to agree to. Once the individual has committed, they are more likely to comply with larger requests. For example, a charity might ask for a small donation first, which can lead to larger contributions later. Use written agreements. People are more likely to honor commitments when they are formalized in writing. This could involve signing a contract, making a pledge, or agreeing to a public commitment. Encourage public commitments. Public declarations can increase accountability. Encourage individuals to share their commitments with others, whether in a meeting, on social media, or through group discussions. Pillar 5, Consistency. Understanding consistency. The principle of consistency is closely related to commitment. People have a strong desire to appear consistent in their beliefs and actions. This psychological drive can be harnessed in persuasion by encouraging individuals to align their actions with their commitments. Practical application. Reinforce past decisions. Remind individuals of their previous commitments or decisions that align with your current request. For example, if someone has previously expressed interest in environmental conservation, you can present them with a related opportunity to volunteer or donate. Create a sense of identity. Help individuals see your request as an extension of their identity. For instance, if you're trying to persuade someone to join a cause, frame it as being consistent with their values or beliefs. Use consistency to your advantage. Once someone has made a commitment, follow up with additional requests that build on that commitment. This can reinforce their sense of identity and obligation, increasing the likelihood of compliance. Pillar 6, Liking. Understanding liking. People are more easily influenced by those they like and trust. The liking principle emphasizes the importance of building rapport and finding common ground to establish a positive connection. Practical application. Build rapport. Take the time to connect with others on a personal level. Use active listening, show genuine interest in their lives, and find shared interests or experiences to foster a sense of camaraderie. Use compliments wisely. Compliments can enhance liking but should be sincere and relevant. Offering genuine praise or acknowledgement can create a positive atmosphere conducive to persuasion. Find common ground. Identify shared goals, values, or interests to create a connection. When individuals feel aligned with you, they are more likely to be receptive to your ideas. Pillar 7, Consensus. Understanding consensus. The consensus principle, often referred to as social proof, indicates that people look to others when making decisions, especially in uncertain situations. This principle suggests that individuals are more likely to adopt behaviors or beliefs that they perceive others endorsing. Practical application. Highlight popularity. When introducing a new product or service, showcase its popularity through testimonials, reviews, or usage statistics. Demonstrating that others have benefited from it can encourage potential customers to follow suit. Use group endorsements. If you can, present the views of a group or community that supports your idea. This could involve showcasing a team's agreement, client endorsements, or even community testimonials. Create an inclusive environment. Foster a sense of belonging by involving others in decision-making processes. When people feel part of a group, they are more likely to align with group norms and decisions. Conclusion. The 7 pillars of persuasion, reciprocity, scarcity, authority, commitment, consistency, liking, and consensus, are foundational elements that shape our interactions and influence our decisions. By understanding and applying these principles, you can significantly enhance your ability to persuade effectively. Each pillar offers a unique lens through which to view human behavior and communication, providing you with powerful tools to influence outcomes in a variety of contexts. In the chapters to come, you will learn how to build on these pillars by developing specific persuasive skills, such as active listening, effective communication strategies, and the art of storytelling. As you continue your journey through this book, keep these pillars in mind, and think about how you can incorporate them into your interactions to become a more effective and ethical persuader. Chapter 3. The Ethics of Persuasion. Persuasion is an incredibly powerful tool. Used correctly, it can inspire change, drive innovation, and build connections. However, with great power comes great responsibility. The effectiveness of persuasion hinges not only on the techniques employed but also on the ethical considerations surrounding them. This chapter will explore the moral implications of persuasion, outline ethical frameworks to guide your persuasive efforts, and provide strategies for maintaining integrity while influencing others. Understanding the moral landscape of persuasion. At its core, the ethics of persuasion involves the question of intent. Is the goal to genuinely help others, or is it merely to manipulate them for personal gain? This distinction is crucial in assessing the morality of persuasive practices. Manipulation versus influence. Manipulation involves deceptive tactics that exploit vulnerabilities or emotions without regard for the well-being of the other person. It often leads to a short-term gain at the expense of the trust and respect of others. Influence, on the other hand, aims to empower others by providing them with information, choices, and support to make informed decisions. Ethical persuasion respects the autonomy and intelligence of the audience. The role of transparency. Transparency is vital in ethical persuasion. Being open about your intentions, the information you present, and the potential consequences of decisions allows others to make informed choices. This builds trust and fosters a positive relationship, making your persuasive efforts more effective in the long run. Respect for autonomy. Ethical persuasion respects individuals' rights to make their own decisions. It involves guiding others rather than coercing them, allowing them to arrive at conclusions that feel right for them. The greater good. An important aspect of ethical persuasion is considering the impact of your actions on a larger scale. Persuading someone to take a course of action that may harm them or others for your benefit crosses an ethical line. Strive to ensure that your persuasive efforts contribute positively to the well-being of individuals and society. Ethical frameworks for persuasion. To navigate the complexities of ethical persuasion, several frameworks can provide guidance. Utilitarianism. This ethical theory evaluates the morality of an action based on its outcomes. The goal is to maximize overall happiness or minimize harm. When applying utilitarianism to persuasion, consider the consequences of your actions on all stakeholders. Ask yourself, will my persuasive efforts lead to a net positive outcome for everyone involved? Are there alternative approaches that could achieve similar results with less harm? Deontological ethics. Deontological ethics emphasizes the importance of following moral rules and duties regardless of the outcomes. This perspective holds that certain actions are intrinsically right or wrong. In terms of persuasion, adhere to principles such as honesty, integrity, and respect for others' rights. Reflect on. Are my methods consistent with my personal and professional ethics? Am I treating others as I would like to be treated? Virtue ethics. This approach focuses on the character and virtues of the individual rather than specific actions or consequences. In persuasion, cultivating virtues such as honesty, empathy, and respect will lead to more ethical persuasive practices. Consider. What kind of person do I want to be as a persuader? Are my actions aligning with the virtues I value? Building integrity in persuasion. Maintaining integrity while persuading others requires intentional practices and self-awareness. Here are strategies to help you stay ethical in your persuasive efforts. Know your audience. Understanding the needs, values, and perspectives of your audience is crucial for ethical persuasion. Take the time to listen and engage with them. This not only fosters respect but also allows you to tailor your message in a way that genuinely meets their needs. Be honest and transparent. Transparency is the cornerstone of ethical persuasion. Avoid exaggeration, half-truths, or omissions that could mislead your audience. Instead, present information clearly, allowing them to make informed decisions. Focus on mutual benefit. Frame your persuasive efforts in terms of mutual benefit. Highlight how your proposal can create value not only for you but also for the other party. This collaborative approach fosters trust and reduces the perception of manipulation. Solicit feedback. Encouraging feedback from your audience allows you to gauge their perceptions and concerns. This openness can enhance your credibility and demonstrate your commitment to ethical persuasion. Practice self-reflection. Regularly reflect on your motivations and the impact of your persuasive efforts. Ask yourself, am I prioritizing my interests over those of my audience? How can I improve my approach to ensure it aligns with my ethical standards? Seek accountability. Engage a mentor or colleague to review your persuasive strategies and practices. Having an accountability partner can help you stay aligned with your ethical commitments and offer an external perspective on your methods. Navigating ethical dilemmas. Despite your best efforts, you may encounter situations that present ethical dilemmas. Here are steps to help you navigate these challenges. Identify the dilemma. Clearly define the ethical conflict at hand. Is there pressure to achieve a specific outcome that could compromise your values? Understanding the dilemma is the first step to resolving it. Gather information. Collect relevant information about the situation, including the perspectives of all parties involved. This comprehensive view will aid in making informed decisions. Evaluate options. Consider the potential consequences of different courses of action. How will each option align with your ethical principles and the well-being of those involved? Make a decision. Choose the course of action that aligns best with your ethical standards and the principles outlined in this chapter. Be prepared to justify your decision to yourself and others. Learn from the experience. After navigating the dilemma, reflect on the experience. What lessons did you learn? How can this experience inform your future persuasive efforts? Conclusion. The ethics of persuasion are paramount to building trust and fostering meaningful relationships. As you develop your persuasive skills, keep the principles of honesty, respect, and mutual benefit at the forefront of your efforts. By understanding the moral landscape, employing ethical frameworks, and cultivating integrity, you can become a persuasive force for good, inspiring positive change and genuine connections. As we continue to explore the various techniques and applications of persuasion in the following chapters, remember that ethical considerations should guide every step of your journey. By doing so, you will not only become a masterful persuader but also a trusted influencer in your personal and professional life. Chapter 4. The Art of Listening. Listening is one of the most underrated skills in persuasion. While many people believe that effective persuasion hinges primarily on how well they articulate their arguments, the truth is that exceptional listeners have a unique advantage. By actively engaging with what others say, you can better understand their needs, build rapport, and tailor your persuasive strategies accordingly. This chapter explores the techniques of active listening, the psychology behind listening, and how you can apply these skills to enhance your persuasive abilities. The importance of listening in persuasion. Listening is not just about hearing words, it is about understanding the underlying thoughts and feelings of the speaker. Here are several reasons why listening is crucial for effective persuasion. Building trust and rapport. Listening conveys that you value the other person's perspective. When people feel heard, they are more likely to trust you, which is essential for any persuasive effort. Trust forms the foundation of influence. If individuals perceive you as genuinely interested in their opinions, they are more open to your ideas. Understanding needs and desires. By actively listening, you can uncover the needs, motivations, and concerns of your audience. This understanding allows you to tailor your message to resonate more deeply with them. Effective persuasion is less about what you want to communicate and more about aligning your message with what your audience needs to hear. Enhancing communication. Listening improves overall communication by ensuring clarity and reducing misunderstandings. It allows for a two-way dialogue, where both parties can express their thoughts and feelings, creating a more collaborative atmosphere. This collaborative environment is conducive to successful persuasion. Gathering information. Active listening enables you to collect valuable information that can help you adjust your arguments or provide counterpoints. By being attentive to verbal and nonverbal cues, you can gauge the other person's reactions and adapt your approach accordingly. Techniques for active listening. To harness the power of listening in your persuasive efforts, you must practice active listening techniques. Here are several strategies to enhance your listening skills. Maintain eye contact. Eye contact demonstrates attentiveness and respect. It shows that you are fully engaged in the conversation and encourages the other person to share more openly. Be mindful not to stare. A comfortable level of eye contact can foster connection. Use nonverbal cues. Your body language can signal your attentiveness. Nod occasionally, lean slightly forward, and use facial expressions that reflect understanding or empathy. These nonverbal cues affirm the speaker's feelings and encourage them to continue sharing. Avoid interrupting. Let the other person finish their thoughts without interruptions. Interrupting can be perceived as dismissive and can shut down the conversation. If you have a thought or response, jot it down so you can revisit it once they finish speaking. Ask open-ended questions. Open-ended questions invite elaboration and promote deeper discussion. Instead of asking, "Did you like the proposal?" try, "What are your thoughts on the proposal?" This approach encourages the speaker to provide more insights and allows you to gather more information. Reflect and paraphrase. After the speaker finishes, reflect back what you've heard by paraphrasing their key points. This shows that you have been attentive and helps clarify any misunderstandings. For instance, you might say, "What I hear you saying is that you have concerns about the timeline. Is that correct?" Practice empathy. Empathy involves understanding and sharing the feelings of another. When you listen empathetically, you connect with the speaker on an emotional level. This connection fosters trust and encourages the speaker to be more open with you. Limit distractions. In our fast-paced world, distractions are everywhere. To be an effective listener, minimize external distractions by choosing an appropriate environment for discussions. Put away your phone, close your laptop, and focus entirely on the conversation at hand. Be patient. Some individuals may take longer to express their thoughts or feelings. Practice patience and resist the urge to rush them. Allowing space for silence can prompt deeper reflection and insight. The psychology of listening. Understanding the psychological aspects of listening can enhance your ability to connect with others. Here are a few key principles. The listening process. Listening involves several stages: receiving, understanding, evaluating, and responding. Each stage is crucial for effective communication. Receiving is the act of hearing the words and recognizing sounds. Understanding requires processing the information and making sense of it. Evaluating involves critically assessing the information presented. Responding is your opportunity to engage further based on what you've heard. The role of confirmation bias. Be aware of confirmation bias, the tendency to favor information that aligns with your pre-existing beliefs. This bias can hinder effective listening. Challenge yourself to remain open-minded and consider perspectives that differ from your own. The impact of emotions. Emotions play a significant role in communication. When people express themselves, they often do so from an emotional standpoint. Understanding emotional undercurrents can help you respond more appropriately and persuasively. Cognitive load. When listening, individuals can only process a limited amount of information at once. Be mindful of the cognitive load of your audience. If you overwhelm them with too much information, they may tune out. Simplifying your message and allowing them to digest it can enhance retention. Applying listening skills to persuasion. Now that we've explored listening techniques and the underlying psychology, let's discuss how to apply these skills to improve your persuasive abilities. Tailor your message. Use insights gained from listening to tailor your message to meet the specific needs and preferences of your audience. This personalized approach demonstrates that you value their perspective and are committed to finding common ground. Address concerns directly. If you identify concerns or objections during your listening process, address them directly in your persuasive efforts. Acknowledging and responding to concerns shows that you are respectful and considerate, increasing the likelihood of a positive reception. Use listening as a persuasive tool. By practicing active listening, you can gently guide the conversation towards your persuasive goal. For instance, after actively listening to their concerns, you might follow up with information that addresses those concerns while reinforcing your message. Create an inclusive environment. Foster an environment where others feel safe to express their thoughts and opinions. When individuals believe that their input is valued, they are more likely to be receptive to your persuasive attempts. Establish yourself as a thought leader. By listening actively and responding thoughtfully, you position yourself as someone who understands and respects the complexities of your audience's viewpoints. This reputation enhances your credibility and influence over time. Practice reflective listening. Reflective listening is a specific technique where you actively engage in the dialogue by summarizing what the speaker has said. This not only shows that you are paying attention but also helps clarify any misunderstandings, paving the way for more effective persuasion. Overcoming barriers to listening. Despite the importance of listening, several barriers can hinder effective engagement. Here are some common obstacles and how to overcome them. Preconceived notions. Coming into a conversation with preconceived ideas about what the other person will say can lead to selective hearing. Approach discussions with an open mind and a willingness to learn. Distractions. Distractions, both external, e.g., phone notifications, and internal, e.g., wandering thoughts, can undermine your listening abilities. Practice mindfulness techniques to stay present and focused during conversations. Emotional reactions. Strong emotional reactions can interfere with listening. If you feel defensive or upset, take a moment to breathe and regain composure before continuing the discussion. This can prevent miscommunication and help maintain a constructive dialogue. Cultural differences. Different cultural backgrounds can impact communication styles. Be aware of cultural nuances and adapt your listening style to accommodate diverse perspectives. Conclusion. Listening is an essential skill for effective persuasion. By mastering active listening techniques, you can build trust, understand the needs of others, and tailor your persuasive efforts for maximum impact. The power of persuasion lies not only in what you say but also in how well you listen. As you develop your listening skills, you'll find that your ability to influence others grows significantly, transforming not only your professional interactions but also your personal relationships. In the following chapters, we will continue to explore the skills and techniques necessary to enhance your persuasive capabilities, building on the strong foundation of active listening. Chapter 5. Effective Communication Strategies. Effective communication is at the heart of persuasion. The ability to convey your ideas clearly and convincingly is essential for influencing others, whether in personal relationships, business interactions, or public speaking. This chapter explores verbal and nonverbal communication techniques that enhance your persuasive abilities, helping you craft compelling messages that resonate with your audience. The importance of effective communication. Before diving into specific strategies, it's important to understand why effective communication is critical for persuasion. Clarity of message. Clear communication minimizes misunderstandings and ensures your message is understood as intended. Ambiguity can lead to confusion and diminish your persuasive impact. Engagement. Engaging communication captures attention and keeps your audience interested. A well-articulated message is more likely to resonate and stick in the minds of your listeners. Emotional connection. Effective communication fosters emotional connections, enabling you to resonate with your audience's feelings and beliefs. This connection is vital for persuading them to see your perspective. Building credibility. How you communicate contributes to your credibility. Confident and articulate communicators are often perceived as more knowledgeable and trustworthy, which enhances their persuasive power. Verbal communication techniques. Verbal communication encompasses the words you choose and how you deliver them. Here are several strategies to improve your verbal communication for persuasion. Know your audience. Understanding your audience is the foundation of effective communication. Tailor your language, tone, and message to meet the needs, interests, and expectations of your listeners. Conduct research if necessary to gauge their values and preferences. Use simple language. Avoid jargon and complex terminology unless you are sure your audience will understand. Simple language is more accessible and relatable, making it easier for your audience to grasp your message. Be concise. Get to the point quickly and avoid unnecessary filler. A concise message respects your audience's time and keeps their attention focused on your main ideas. Structure your message logically, prioritizing the most important information. Emphasize key points. Highlight important points using repetition, emphasis, or by varying your tone. This reinforces your main ideas and helps them stand out in your audience's memory. Use the power of questions. Questions can stimulate engagement and encourage listeners to think critically about your message. Rhetorical questions can prompt reflection, while open-ended questions invite dialogue. Incorporate stories and anecdotes. Personal stories or relevant anecdotes make your message relatable and memorable. Narratives engage emotions and provide context that helps illustrate your points. Utilize analogies and metaphors. Analogies and metaphors can simplify complex ideas by relating them to familiar concepts. They can create vivid mental images, making your message more impactful. Vary your tone and pace. Modulating your tone and pace can keep your audience engaged. A dynamic delivery, varying speed, pitch, and volume, can emphasize critical points and maintain interest. Practice empathetic language. Use language that reflects empathy and understanding of your audience's perspective. Phrases like, "I understand how you feel," or "I appreciate your concerns," can foster connection and openness. Include calls to action. A persuasive message should conclude with a clear call to action. Whether you want your audience to agree, change a behavior, or support a proposal, be explicit about what you are asking them to do. Nonverbal communication techniques. Nonverbal communication, body language, facial expressions, gestures, and eye contact, plays a significant role in persuasion. Here are strategies to enhance your nonverbal communication. Maintain appropriate eye contact. Eye contact demonstrates confidence and engagement. It can help establish a connection with your audience and signal that you are sincere. However, be mindful of cultural differences in eye contact norms. Utilize open body language. An open posture, e.g., uncrossed arms and legs, conveys approachability and confidence. Avoid closed or defensive body language, which can create barriers between you and your audience. Use gestures purposefully. Hand gestures can enhance your message by illustrating points and emphasizing key ideas. Use gestures naturally and avoid excessive or distracting movements. Be mindful of facial expressions. Your facial expressions should align with your message. A warm smile can create a positive atmosphere, while a serious expression can underscore the importance of a point. Ensure your expressions are genuine and appropriate for the context. Pay attention to proximity. The physical distance you maintain with your audience can influence comfort levels. Being too close can feel invasive, while being too distant may signal disengagement. Adjust your proximity based on the setting and the comfort level of your audience. Monitor your posture. Standing or sitting up straight communicates confidence and authority. Slouching or appearing disinterested can undermine your message and persuasive efforts. Mirror the audience. Subtly mirroring the body language of your audience can create a sense of rapport and connection. This technique fosters familiarity and trust, enhancing your persuasive effectiveness. Use silence effectively. Pausing at strategic moments can emphasize key points and give your audience time to absorb information. Silence can also prompt reflection and encourage deeper engagement with your message. Crafting compelling messages. With an understanding of effective communication techniques, it's time to focus on crafting compelling messages. Here's a step-by-step approach to creating persuasive messages. Define your purpose. Clearly identify the purpose of your message. Are you trying to inform, persuade, or motivate action? A well-defined purpose provides direction for your content. Identify key messages. Determine the main points you want to convey. Limit these to 3 or 4 key messages to ensure clarity and focus. Each key message should align with your overall purpose. Structure your message. Organize your message logically. A common structure includes: introduction, introduce your topic and establish context. Body, present your key messages, supporting evidence and examples. Conclusion, summarize your main points and include a call to action. Use supporting evidence. Incorporate facts, statistics, expert quotes, and testimonials to lend credibility to your message. Well-researched evidence strengthens your persuasive arguments. Anticipate counterarguments. Consider potential objections your audience may have and address them proactively in your message. Acknowledging opposing viewpoints demonstrates your understanding of the issue and enhances your credibility. Tailor your delivery. Decide on the best medium for delivering your message, whether it be a face-to-face conversation, a written report, or a presentation. Tailor your approach based on the preferences and expectations of your audience. Solicit feedback. Before delivering your message, seek feedback from trusted colleagues or friends. They can provide insights on clarity, engagement, and persuasiveness, allowing you to refine your content. Practice your delivery. Rehearse your message multiple times to build confidence and familiarity. Practice not only the content but also your verbal and nonverbal delivery techniques. The role of storytelling in persuasive communication. One of the most powerful tools in persuasive communication is storytelling. Stories have the ability to evoke emotions, create connections, and illustrate complex ideas in relatable ways. Here are strategies for using storytelling effectively. Choose relevant stories. Select stories that resonate with your audience and relate to your key messages. Personal anecdotes or case studies can enhance your credibility and make your message more relatable. Structure your story. A compelling story typically follows a clear structure. Setup, introduce the characters and context. Conflict, present a challenge or dilemma. Resolution, share how the challenge was overcome and the lessons learned. Elicit emotion. Emotional engagement is key to persuasive storytelling. Use vivid descriptions and relatable experiences to evoke feelings in your audience, making your message more memorable. Connect the story to your message. Ensure that your story reinforces your key messages and supports your persuasive goals. After sharing your story, clearly articulate its relevance to your overall message. Invite reflection. Encourage your audience to reflect on the story's implications. Pose thought-provoking questions or prompts that invite deeper engagement with the narrative and your message. Conclusion. Mastering effective communication strategies is essential for successful persuasion. By honing your verbal and nonverbal communication skills, you can craft compelling messages that resonate with your audience. Whether through storytelling, empathetic language, or engaging delivery techniques, effective communication fosters trust, builds connections, and enhances your ability to influence others. As you continue your journey in mastering the art of persuasion, remember that every interaction is an opportunity to practice and refine these skills. In the next chapter, we will explore how to create trust and rapport, further strengthening your persuasive abilities. Chapter 6. Creating Trust and Rapport. In the realm of persuasion, establishing trust and rapport is fundamental. Without these elements, your attempts to influence others can easily be dismissed or met with resistance. This chapter delves into the significance of trust and rapport, explores techniques for building authentic connections, and provides strategies to enhance your credibility and trustworthiness. The importance of trust and rapport in persuasion. Trust and rapport serve as the foundation upon which persuasive communication is built. Here's why they are crucial. Facilitating open communication. When trust is established, individuals are more likely to communicate openly and share their thoughts and feelings. This openness creates a conducive environment for dialogue and persuasion. Reducing resistance. People are less likely to resist suggestions from those they trust. Rapport helps to soften objections and creates a sense of collaboration rather than confrontation. Enhancing credibility. Trustworthiness enhances your credibility. If others believe in your integrity and expertise, they are more likely to accept your ideas and recommendations. Fostering emotional connections. Rapport involves emotional connections that make interactions more meaningful. These connections can lead to loyalty and a willingness to support your goals. Encouraging collaboration. Trust promotes collaboration, as individuals feel safe and valued in expressing their opinions. This collaborative spirit can lead to better outcomes for all parties involved. Building authentic connections. Creating trust and rapport requires intentional effort and genuine interaction. Here are several techniques to help you build authentic connections. Show genuine interest. Take the time to learn about the other person's interests, values, and experiences. Asking open-ended questions and actively listening demonstrates that you value their perspective. Example, instead of asking, "How was your day?" try, "What was the highlight of your day?" This encourages a more meaningful conversation. Practice active listening. Active listening involves fully engaging with the speaker. This means not just hearing their words but also understanding the emotions and intentions behind them. Techniques for active listening. Paraphrasing, restate what the other person has said to confirm understanding. Nodding, show engagement through nonverbal cues. Avoiding interruptions, allow the speaker to finish their thoughts without interruption. Demonstrate empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. When you empathize with others, they feel validated and understood. How to demonstrate empathy. Acknowledge their feelings. "I can see that this situation is really important to you." Share your own related experiences to create common ground. Be authentic and transparent. Authenticity builds trust. Be yourself and be honest in your interactions. Avoid manipulation or insincerity, as these behaviors can damage rapport. Tip: share your thoughts and feelings honestly while remaining respectful of others' perspectives. Utilize mirroring techniques. Mirroring involves subtly mimicking the other person's body language, tone, and speech patterns. This technique can foster a sense of familiarity and comfort. Caution: mirroring should be subtle, overt imitation can be perceived as mocking. Find common ground. Look for shared interests, experiences, or values. Establishing commonality can strengthen your connection and create a collaborative atmosphere. Example: if you both enjoy a particular hobby, discuss it to build rapport. Be reliable and consistent. Trust is built over time through consistent behavior. Follow through on your commitments and be reliable in your interactions. Tip: if you promise to send information or follow up on a conversation, ensure you do so promptly. Create a positive atmosphere. A positive environment can enhance rapport. Use humor appropriately, smile, and maintain an upbeat demeanor to create an inviting space for conversation. Be respectful of differences. Respect diversity in differing opinions. Acknowledging that different perspectives can coexist fosters an inclusive environment. Strategies for establishing credibility and trustworthiness. In addition to building rapport, establishing credibility is vital for effective persuasion. Here are strategies to enhance your credibility and trustworthiness. Demonstrate expertise. Share your knowledge and skills relevant to the conversation. When others perceive you as knowledgeable, they are more likely to trust your opinions. How to showcase expertise. Use data, statistics, and examples to back up your claims. Share relevant experiences that demonstrate your qualifications. Communicate clearly. Clear and concise communication reflects confidence and enhances credibility. Avoid vague language and be precise in your messaging. Be honest and ethical. Honesty is a cornerstone of trust. Be truthful in your interactions, even when it's difficult. Ethical behavior fosters long-term relationships built on respect. Example: if you don't know the answer to a question, admit it rather than fabricating an answer. Offer to find the information instead. Seek feedback and acknowledge mistakes. Be open to feedback and willing to learn from your mistakes. Acknowledging errors demonstrates humility and a commitment to growth. Example: if a project you led didn't go as planned, discuss what you learned and how you'll improve in the future. Cultivate a reputation for integrity. Consistently demonstrate integrity in your actions and decisions. A strong reputation for integrity enhances your credibility over time. Be vulnerable. Sharing your challenges and vulnerabilities can enhance relatability and foster deeper connections. It shows that you are human and open to learning. Example: discussing a past failure and what you learned can create a bond with your audience. Building trust through consistency. Trust is reinforced through consistent behavior over time. Here are ways to maintain and strengthen trust through consistency. Follow through on promises. Make commitments carefully, and ensure you follow through. This builds a reputation for reliability and trustworthiness. Be predictable. Consistency in your actions and behavior allows others to predict how you will respond in various situations. This predictability fosters a sense of safety and security. Maintain open lines of communication. Regularly check in with your contacts and provide updates on ongoing projects or discussions. Transparency reinforces trust. Show appreciation. Express gratitude for others' contributions and support. Acknowledging their efforts builds positive relationships. Engage in continuous learning. Stay informed about relevant topics and skills. Demonstrating a commitment to growth and development enhances your credibility. Navigating challenges in building trust. While building trust and rapport is essential, it can also be challenging. Here are common challenges and strategies to overcome them. Dealing with distrust. If you encounter skepticism or distrust, approach the situation with patience. Acknowledge their feelings, and work to address their concerns openly and transparently. Cultural differences. Different cultural backgrounds can influence communication styles and perceptions of trust. Be mindful of these differences and adapt your approach accordingly. Previous negative experiences. Past negative experiences can impact trust. Be patient and demonstrate reliability over time to help rebuild trust. Managing conflicts. Conflicts can erode trust. Address conflicts constructively by focusing on finding common ground and seeking mutually beneficial solutions. Conclusion. Creating trust and rapport is a vital skill in the art of persuasion. By demonstrating genuine interest, practicing active listening, and building authentic connections, you can foster an environment conducive to influence. Enhancing your credibility through expertise, honesty, and consistency further solidifies your persuasive power. As you cultivate these skills, you will not only become a more effective persuader but also build meaningful relationships that enhance both your personal and professional life. In the next chapter, we will explore the power of storytelling and how narratives can engage and influence your audience. Chapter 7. The Power of Storytelling. Storytelling is one of the most potent tools in the arsenal of persuasion. It transcends mere facts and figures, creating an emotional bridge that connects the speaker to the audience. This chapter explores how to harness the power of storytelling to engage and influence others, detailing the essential elements of a persuasive story and providing guidance on crafting your narratives effectively. The importance of storytelling in persuasion. Storytelling has been a fundamental aspect of human communication for millennia. It resonates on a deeply emotional level, allowing individuals to connect and understand complex ideas in a relatable manner. Here are several reasons why storytelling is essential in persuasion. Emotional engagement. Stories evoke emotions, making them memorable. When audiences feel something, whether joy, sadness, anger, or hope, they are more likely to engage with the message being conveyed. Simplifying complex ideas. Stories can distill intricate concepts into digestible narratives. They help break down barriers of understanding, making it easier for the audience to grasp and relate to the core message. Creating connections. A well-told story fosters a connection between the storyteller and the audience. This bond builds trust, making the audience more receptive to the underlying message. Illustrating values and morals. Stories often embody values and morals, allowing the storyteller to convey important lessons subtly and powerfully. This is particularly useful in persuasive contexts where behavioral change is desired. Facilitating memory retention. People are more likely to remember stories than abstract concepts or data points. This characteristic makes storytelling an effective way to reinforce key messages. Elements of a persuasive story. To craft a compelling story that resonates with your audience, consider the following essential elements. Characters. Characters are the heart of any story. They need to be relatable and well-developed, enabling the audience to connect emotionally with their journey. Consider the protagonist, antagonist, and supporting characters, and ensure that their motivations and conflicts are clear. Tip: use real-life examples or case studies featuring individuals your audience can identify with. Conflict. Conflict is the driving force of a story. It creates tension and keeps the audience engaged. The conflict can be internal, within a character, or external, between characters or against an environment. The resolution of this conflict is what drives the narrative forward. Example: a business leader facing ethical dilemmas may struggle with personal values versus corporate pressures. Plot. The plot outlines the sequence of events in the story. It should have a clear beginning, middle, and end. Beginning: introduce characters and set the scene. Middle: present the conflict and the challenges faced. End: resolve the conflict and conclude with a takeaway or lesson. Setting. The setting provides context for the story. It includes the time, place, and circumstances in which the story occurs. A well-defined setting enhances immersion and helps the audience visualize the narrative. Theme. The theme is the underlying message or moral of the story. It should be clear and relevant to the audience's values and beliefs, allowing them to draw connections to their own lives. Emotional arcs. A persuasive story often includes emotional peaks and valleys that resonate with the audience. These emotional arcs can guide the audience through feelings of anticipation, empathy, joy, or even sadness. Crafting your persuasive story. Once you understand the essential elements of storytelling, you can begin crafting your persuasive narrative. Here are steps to guide you. Identify your purpose. Before crafting your story, define your persuasive goal. What do you want your audience to do, think, or feel after hearing your story? This clarity will shape your narrative. Example: if you aim to encourage community involvement, your story should highlight the positive impacts of collective action. Know your audience. Tailor your story to resonate with your audience's experiences, beliefs, and values. Consider what will engage them emotionally and what kind of stories they are likely to connect with. Research: understand their demographics, interests, and pain points to ensure relevance. Outline your story. Create a blueprint of your narrative, including key characters, conflict, and resolution. This outline will help you stay organized as you write. Use vivid language. Employ descriptive and evocative language that paints a picture for the audience. Show, don't just tell. Use sensory details to immerse your audience in the experience. Example: instead of saying, "It was a tough day," describe it: "As the clouds gathered overhead and raindrops began to fall, I felt the weight of the world pressing down on my shoulders." Incorporate dialogue. Including dialogue can bring characters to life and make the story more dynamic. It allows the audience to engage with the characters' emotions and perspectives. Example: "I can't believe we made it through that storm," she exclaimed, her voice trembling with disbelief. End with a call to action. Conclude your story with a strong call to action. This is where you articulate what you want the audience to do with the message you've conveyed. Make it clear and actionable. Example: "Join us in our mission to support local families in need. Together, we can make a difference." Practice your delivery. Storytelling is not just about the words, it's also about how you deliver them. Practice your pacing, tone, and body language. Use pauses effectively to create suspense and emphasize key points. Tip: record yourself to evaluate your storytelling style and identify areas for improvement. Real-world applications of storytelling. Understanding how to use storytelling effectively in various contexts can enhance your persuasive efforts. Here are some real-world applications. In business, storytelling can be a powerful tool in sales presentations, marketing campaigns, and brand storytelling. By weaving narratives around your products or services, you can create emotional connections that drive customer engagement and loyalty. Example: brands like Apple and Nike use storytelling to create a narrative around innovation and achievement, making their products symbols of a lifestyle rather than just items for sale. In leadership, effective leaders use storytelling to inspire and motivate their teams. By sharing personal experiences or anecdotes that illustrate core values, leaders can foster a shared vision and culture. Example: a leader might share a story of overcoming challenges to highlight resilience and teamwork within the organization. In public speaking, public speakers often use stories to captivate their audience. Stories can break the monotony of data-heavy presentations and keep the audience engaged and focused. Example: a speaker addressing climate change might share a personal story about a community affected by rising sea levels to evoke empathy and urgency. In conflict resolution, storytelling can help in mediating conflicts by allowing all parties to share their perspectives and experiences. This process fosters understanding and collaboration toward a resolution. Example: in a workplace dispute, each party can share their side of the story, allowing for greater empathy and identification of common ground. Conclusion: the power of storytelling in persuasion is profound. By effectively crafting and delivering narratives that resonate with your audience, you can foster emotional connections, simplify complex ideas, and encourage behavioral change. Remember, the art of storytelling is not just about what you say but how you make your audience feel. As you refine your storytelling skills, you'll enhance your ability to influence and engage, transforming your persuasive efforts into impactful connections. In the next chapter, we will explore the role of emotional appeals in persuasion, examining how to leverage emotional triggers while balancing logic and reasoning. Chapter 8. The role of emotional appeals. Emotions play a crucial role in persuasion, often surpassing rational arguments in their effectiveness. In this chapter, we will delve into the significance of emotional appeals in the art of persuasion, exploring how to identify emotional triggers, leverage them effectively, and strike a balance between emotion and logic to achieve persuasive success. Understanding emotional appeals. Emotional appeals refer to the strategic use of emotions to influence others' attitudes and behaviors. Unlike logical appeals that rely on facts and data, emotional appeals tap into feelings such as happiness, fear, anger, sadness, and empathy. Research shows that decisions are often driven more by emotions than by rational analysis, hence, the ability to evoke the right emotions can significantly enhance your persuasive efforts. The emotional brain. To understand emotional appeals, it's essential to recognize how emotions influence decision-making. The brain is wired to prioritize emotional information. The amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure, is responsible for processing emotions and can trigger quick responses before the rational brain, the prefrontal cortex, has time to analyze the situation thoroughly. This biological basis explains why emotional stimuli can have a more immediate and profound effect on decision-making than logical arguments. The power of emotion in persuasion. Memorability. Emotionally charged messages are more memorable than dry facts. A compelling story that evokes emotion will stick in the audience's mind longer. Motivation to act. Emotions often serve as motivators. A powerful emotional appeal can prompt immediate action, whether it's making a donation, changing a behavior, or supporting a cause. Creating connection. Emotional appeals help create a connection between the speaker and the audience. When you can resonate emotionally, people are more likely to trust and support your message. Types of emotional appeals. To effectively leverage emotional appeals, it's vital to understand the different types of emotions that can be harnessed in persuasion. Fear appeals. Fear is a strong motivator. By presenting a threat or undesirable outcome, you can encourage the audience to take action to avoid the negative consequences. However, it's crucial to strike a balance. Too much fear can lead to paralysis or backlash. Example: anti-smoking campaigns often utilize fear by showcasing graphic images of health consequences to discourage smoking. Joy and happiness. Positive emotions can create an uplifting atmosphere that encourages openness and receptivity. Highlighting success stories or positive outcomes can inspire and motivate your audience to engage with your message. Example: charity campaigns often use uplifting stories of individuals whose lives have changed thanks to donations, evoking feelings of joy and hope. Sadness. Sadness can evoke empathy and compassion, compelling the audience to take action. However, like fear, it must be used judiciously. Overuse can lead to disengagement. Example: emotional appeals in fundraising often feature personal stories that highlight struggles, encouraging the audience to contribute to alleviate suffering. Surprise. Surprise captures attention and can lead to increased engagement. By presenting unexpected information or outcomes, you can provoke curiosity and interest in your message. Example: a marketing campaign might unveil surprising statistics that highlight a significant issue, prompting the audience to think more critically about the topic. Trust and belonging. Emphasizing shared values and experiences can foster a sense of community and trust. People are more likely to be persuaded by those they feel connected to or share common goals with. Example: political campaigns often use emotional appeals to create a sense of belonging among constituents, emphasizing shared values and collective goals. Crafting emotional appeals. To effectively incorporate emotional appeals into your persuasive efforts, consider the following strategies. Know your audience. Understanding your audience's values, beliefs, and emotional triggers is critical. Tailor your emotional appeals to resonate with their experiences and perspectives. Research. Conduct surveys or focus groups to gain insights into what moves your audience emotionally. Use storytelling. Stories are a powerful medium for evoking emotions. Share relatable narratives that highlight the stakes involved and demonstrate the human experience behind your message. Example: instead of presenting statistics about homelessness, tell the story of an individual experiencing homelessness and the impact of community support. Visual and sensory elements. Incorporate visuals, music, and other sensory elements that enhance emotional engagement. Images, videos, and soundtracks can amplify the emotional response and create a more immersive experience. Example: a video advertisement for a charity might feature touching imagery of people in need, accompanied by emotional music to evoke empathy. Appeal to values. Connect your message to the audience's core values. When people see that your message aligns with their beliefs and values, they are more likely to be persuaded. Example: a campaign promoting environmental sustainability might emphasize themes of stewardship and responsibility, resonating with eco-conscious audiences. Balance emotion and logic. While emotional appeals are powerful, they should not overshadow logical arguments. Use emotional appeals to complement and reinforce logical reasoning rather than replace it. Strategy. Start with a compelling emotional story to capture attention, then present factual data to support your case. Create urgency. Convey a sense of urgency in your emotional appeals. Highlighting time-sensitive issues can motivate action. Example: if we don't act now to combat climate change, future generations will suffer the consequences. Ethical considerations in emotional appeals. While emotional appeals can be effective, it's essential to approach them ethically. Avoid manipulation. Use emotional appeals responsibly. Manipulating emotions to achieve your goals can backfire and damage trust. Ensure that your appeals are genuine and rooted in authenticity. Be transparent. Maintain transparency about your motives. Audiences appreciate honesty and are more likely to engage with a message when they feel respected. Respect boundaries. Be aware of the emotional sensitivities of your audience. Avoid triggering trauma or distress without cause, as this can alienate individuals and harm your credibility. Real-world applications of emotional appeals. Emotional appeals are widely used across various domains, demonstrating their effectiveness in persuasion. Here are a few real-world applications. Marketing and advertising. Emotional appeals are fundamental in marketing strategies. Brands often leverage nostalgia, happiness, and fear to connect with consumers, creating campaigns that resonate deeply. Example: Coca-Cola's holiday advertisements evoke nostalgia and joy, creating a sense of tradition and community around their brand. Nonprofit and advocacy organizations. Nonprofits often utilize emotional storytelling to inspire action and donations. By sharing personal stories and experiences, they evoke empathy and motivate support for their causes. Example: organizations like UNICEF use emotionally charged imagery and narratives to communicate the plight of children in need, driving donations. Political campaigns. Political candidates often leverage emotional appeals to connect with voters. By addressing fears, aspirations, and shared values, they can create a compelling narrative that resonates with constituents. Example: candidates may share personal stories about their struggles or successes to foster a connection with voters. Public health campaigns. Public health organizations often use emotional appeals to encourage behavior change. By highlighting the consequences of unhealthy choices or the benefits of healthy living, they motivate individuals to adopt positive behaviors. Example: anti-drug campaigns often feature emotional testimonials from individuals affected by addiction, driving home the importance of prevention and treatment. Conclusion: emotional appeals are a vital aspect of persuasion, allowing you to connect with your audience on a deeper level. By understanding and leveraging the power of emotions, you can enhance your persuasive efforts and motivate action. However, it is essential to approach emotional appeals ethically and responsibly, ensuring that your messages resonate authentically with your audience. In the next chapter, we will explore negotiation tactics that can further enhance your persuasive success, equipping you with strategies for reaching win-win outcomes. Chapter 9. Negotiation tactics for persuasive success. Negotiation is a fundamental aspect of persuasion that occurs in nearly every area of life, from personal relationships to business dealings. Mastering negotiation tactics is crucial for achieving favorable outcomes while maintaining positive relationships. In this chapter, we will explore key strategies and techniques to enhance your negotiation skills, allowing you to become a more persuasive and effective negotiator. Understanding negotiation. Negotiation can be defined as a discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. It involves two or more parties with differing interests who come together to find a mutually acceptable solution. The process requires not only an understanding of the subject matter but also a keen awareness of interpersonal dynamics, including emotions, motivations, and communication styles. The importance of negotiation. Negotiation skills are essential in various contexts, including business, negotiating contracts, salaries, and partnerships. Personal relationships, resolving conflicts, making plans, and managing expectations. Everyday life, bargaining in marketplaces or negotiating responsibilities within a household. The negotiation process. The negotiation process typically consists of several stages. Preparation, gathering information, defining objectives, and understanding the needs of both parties. Opening, presenting initial positions and establishing a dialogue. Exploration, discussing interests, concerns, and potential solutions. Bargaining, making concessions and finding common ground. Closing, finalizing agreements and ensuring clarity on terms. Preparing for negotiation. Preparation is key to successful negotiation. The more you understand the context and the parties involved, the better equipped you will be to influence the outcome. Define your objectives. Before entering any negotiation, clearly outline your goals. Know what you want to achieve, including your ideal outcome and acceptable compromises. Consider both your primary objectives and secondary objectives, things that are nice to have but not critical. Research and gather information. Knowledge is power. Conduct thorough research about the subject of the negotiation, including market trends, relevant data, and the other party's background. Understanding the interests, motivations, and potential pressure points of the other party will provide you with valuable leverage. Know your BATNA, best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Before negotiating, identify your best alternative if the negotiation does not result in an agreement. This could be another opportunity or solution. Understanding your BATNA allows you to negotiate with confidence, knowing when to walk away from a less favorable deal. Anticipate the other party's needs. Put yourself in the other party's shoes. Anticipate their objectives, fears, and potential objections. Understanding their perspective will allow you to craft solutions that address their needs while also fulfilling your own. Establish your leverage. Leverage refers to the advantage you have in a negotiation. This could be based on unique information, the urgency of the situation, or your position of authority. Identifying your leverage will help you strategically navigate the negotiation process. Key negotiation tactics. Once you have prepared, it's essential to employ effective tactics during the negotiation. Here are several key tactics to enhance your persuasive abilities. Build rapport. Establishing a positive relationship with the other party can significantly influence the negotiation outcome. Begin with small talk or common interests to create a comfortable atmosphere. Building rapport fosters trust, making the other party more receptive to your proposals. Use open-ended questions. Asking open-ended questions encourages dialogue and helps uncover the other party's interests and concerns. This technique allows you to gather information and demonstrates that you value their perspective. Example, instead of asking, "Are you satisfied with the current offer?" ask, "What are your thoughts on the current offer, and how do you see it fitting with your goals?" Practice active listening. Active listening involves fully concentrating, understanding, and responding to what the other party is saying. It shows that you respect their views and fosters a collaborative environment. Techniques. Paraphrase their points to confirm understanding. Acknowledge their feelings and concerns. Use nonverbal cues, such as nodding and maintaining eye contact, to demonstrate engagement. Frame your proposals. The way you present your proposals can significantly impact their reception. Frame your proposals positively, emphasizing the benefits and value they offer to the other party. Example, instead of saying, "We need to cut costs," frame it as, "By reducing costs, we can allocate more resources to initiatives that enhance our collaboration." Use silence effectively. Silence can be a powerful negotiation tool. After making a proposal or stating a fact, allow for silence. This can prompt the other party to fill the void, often revealing additional information or concessions. Make the first offer. Research suggests that the party who makes the first offer often gains an advantage. Making the initial proposal allows you to set the tone and anchor the discussion around your expectations. Caveat: ensure that your first offer is well researched and realistic. An unreasonable offer can backfire and damage the negotiation. Leverage scarcity and urgency. Highlighting limited availability or time-sensitive offers can create a sense of urgency that motivates the other party to act. This tactic can encourage quicker decision-making. Example: this proposal is available only until the end of the month, as we have other interested parties. Employ the foot in the door technique. Start by making a small request that is likely to be accepted, and then follow up with your larger request. This technique capitalizes on the principle of commitment and consistency. Example: if negotiating for a raise, you might first ask for a meeting to discuss your contributions before presenting the salary increase request. Make concessions wisely. Be prepared to make concessions, but do so strategically. When you concede, do so in small increments and in exchange for something valuable in return. This demonstrates goodwill while still protecting your interests. Example: I can reduce the price slightly, but in return, would need an extended contract term. End on a positive note. Whether the negotiation results in an agreement or not, strive to end the conversation positively. Express appreciation for the other party's time and efforts. This leaves the door open for future interactions and maintains a professional relationship. Closing the deal. The closing phase is critical in negotiation. It's essential to ensure that all parties are clear on the terms of the agreement and that nothing is left ambiguous. Summarize the agreement. Before finalizing, summarize the key points agreed upon. This reinforces understanding and ensures that everyone is on the same page. Seek confirmation. Ask the other party for their confirmation of the agreement. This step ensures that all parties acknowledge and accept the terms. Example: just to confirm, we have agreed to the following terms, list key points. Is that correct? Document the agreement. Once an agreement is reached, document the terms in writing. This provides clarity and prevents misunderstandings in the future. Plan for follow-up. Establish a plan for following up on the agreement. Discuss next steps and set timelines to ensure accountability. Express gratitude. Regardless of the outcome, thank the other party for their time and effort. A positive closing can leave a lasting impression and foster goodwill. Navigating difficult negotiations. Not all negotiations will go smoothly. Here are strategies for dealing with challenging situations. Stay calm and composed. In difficult negotiations, emotions can run high. Maintain your composure and avoid reacting defensively. Take deep breaths and focus on the issues rather than personal attacks. Know when to walk away. If the negotiation becomes unproductive or if the terms are not favorable, be prepared to walk away. Knowing your BATNA empowers you to disengage when necessary. Use third-party mediators. In complex negotiations or disputes, consider involving a neutral third-party mediator. A mediator can facilitate communication and help both parties find common ground. Seek win-win solutions. Focus on collaborative problem-solving rather than adversarial tactics. Identify creative solutions that address the needs of both parties. Reflect and learn. After a challenging negotiation, reflect on the experience. Analyze what worked, what didn't, and what you could improve for future negotiations. Continuous learning is essential for growth in negotiation skills. Conclusion. Negotiation is a vital component of persuasive communication that requires careful preparation, effective tactics, and the ability to build rapport and trust. By employing the strategies outlined in this chapter, you can enhance your negotiation skills and achieve successful outcomes in various contexts. As you continue to refine your abilities, remember that negotiation is not just about winning, it's about finding mutually beneficial solutions that foster lasting relationships. In the next chapter, we will explore how to apply these persuasive skills in personal relationships, equipping you with strategies to influence family, friends, and partners effectively. Chapter 10. Persuasion in Personal Relationships. Personal relationships are foundational to our lives and heavily influenced by the ability to persuade and negotiate effectively. Whether in friendships, family dynamics, or romantic partnerships, the skills of persuasion can enhance understanding, resolve conflicts, and strengthen connections. In this chapter, we will explore various strategies for influencing family, friends, and partners while promoting harmony and mutual respect. The importance of persuasion in personal relationships. Persuasion in personal relationships is not about manipulation, rather, it is about communication and understanding. It involves expressing one's own needs while also considering the feelings and needs of others. Effective persuasion can lead to better outcomes in discussions and decisions, making relationships more fulfilling and harmonious. Strengthening bonds. Engaging in persuasive communication can help partners understand each other better, addressing misunderstandings and enhancing emotional intimacy. Conflict resolution. Conflicts are inevitable in any relationship. Persuasion techniques can be employed to navigate disagreements, leading to constructive resolutions rather than escalated arguments. Fostering cooperation. Persuasion can help align interests, encouraging collaborative decision-making in families, friendships, and partnerships. Understanding the dynamics of personal relationships. Before applying persuasive techniques, it's important to understand the unique dynamics of personal relationships. Here are key considerations. Individual needs and desires. Each person has their own set of needs and desires. Understanding what motivates your partner, friend, or family member is essential for effective persuasion. This involves active listening and empathizing with their perspective. The role of trust. Trust is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Effective persuasion relies on trust, which is built through honesty, consistency, and reliability. Emotional intelligence. Recognizing and responding to the emotions of others is crucial. Emotional intelligence allows you to navigate sensitive topics and approach discussions with empathy. Strategies for influencing family, friends, and partners. To enhance your persuasive abilities in personal relationships, consider implementing the following strategies. Active listening. Active listening is one of the most powerful tools in persuasion. It involves fully concentrating on what the other person is saying and responding thoughtfully. This not only shows respect but also provides you with insights into their feelings and viewpoints. Techniques. Maintain eye contact and nod to show you are engaged. Summarize what the other person has said to confirm understanding. Ask open-ended questions to encourage further dialogue. Use I statements. When discussing feelings or needs, frame your statements using I rather than you. This approach reduces defensiveness and opens the door for constructive conversation. Example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try, "I feel unheard when I don't have your full attention." Express empathy. Show that you understand and respect the other person's feelings. Empathetic responses validate their emotions and foster a deeper connection. Example, "I can see that this situation is really upsetting for you. Let's figure it out together." Find common ground. Focus on shared values and interests. Establishing common ground can make discussions more collaborative rather than confrontational. Example, "We both want what's best for the kids. Let's find a solution that works for everyone." Timing is key. Choose the right moment to discuss important topics. Avoid initiating discussions during stressful or emotionally charged times. Instead, select a calm environment where both parties can engage constructively. Be clear and specific. When expressing your needs or desires, be clear and specific. Vague requests can lead to misunderstandings. Example, instead of saying, "I need more help around the house," specify, "Could you please help with the dishes 3 times a week?" Practice patience and flexibility. Not every discussion will go as planned. Be prepared to adapt your approach based on the flow of the conversation and the other person's reactions. Patience can help diffuse tension and create a more open dialogue. Use positive reinforcement. Acknowledge and reinforce positive behavior. When someone makes an effort to understand or accommodate your needs, express gratitude and appreciation. Example: thank you for listening to my concerns. It really means a lot to me. Employ the power of storytelling. Sharing personal stories can create emotional connections and make your points more relatable. A well-crafted story can illustrate your feelings or perspectives in a way that resonates deeply with the listener. Example: if discussing the need for more family time, share a fond memory of a past family vacation and how it positively impacted your relationships. Focus on solutions. Instead of dwelling on problems, steer conversations toward finding solutions. A proactive mindset encourages collaboration and motivates both parties to work toward a common goal. Example: let's brainstorm ways to divide household responsibilities more evenly. Handling conflicts and disagreements. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship, but how it's handled can make a significant difference. Here are strategies for using persuasion effectively in conflict resolution. Stay calm and composed. Keeping your emotions in check is crucial during conflicts. Take a moment to breathe and collect your thoughts before responding. Reacting impulsively can escalate the situation. Acknowledge differences. Recognize that differences in opinions are normal. Validate the other person's perspective, even if you disagree. This fosters respect and opens the door for productive dialogue. Example: I see we have different viewpoints on this issue, and that's okay. Let's explore both sides. Seek to understand, not to win. Approach disagreements with a mindset of understanding rather than a desire to win the argument. This shift in perspective encourages open communication and promotes resolution. Identify underlying issues. Often, conflicts stem from deeper issues or unmet needs. Take time to explore the underlying factors that may be contributing to the disagreement. Example: if a partner is upset about household chores, it may be less about the tasks themselves and more about feeling undervalued or unsupported. Collaborative problem solving. Work together to find solutions that satisfy both parties. This collaborative approach fosters teamwork and strengthens the relationship. Example: what if we create a schedule for chores that works for both of us? Agree to disagree. In some cases, it's best to agree to disagree. Recognizing that it's okay to have different opinions can prevent unnecessary tension and allow both parties to move forward respectfully. Fostering lasting connections. Beyond conflict resolution, it's essential to cultivate a sense of connection and closeness in relationships. Here are ways to use persuasion positively to strengthen bonds. Express appreciation. Regularly express gratitude and appreciation for your loved ones. Simple acknowledgments can go a long way in reinforcing positive behavior and deepening connections. Example: I really appreciate how you always make time for our family dinners. It means so much to me. Create shared experiences. Engage in activities that foster connection, such as traveling, cooking together, or pursuing hobbies. Shared experiences create lasting memories and strengthen emotional ties. Communicate regularly. Keep the lines of communication open. Regular check-ins allow for the expression of feelings, thoughts, and needs, preventing misunderstandings from building up. Be vulnerable. Sharing your own vulnerabilities and struggles fosters intimacy and encourages others to open up. Vulnerability creates a safe space for authentic connections. Example: I've been feeling stressed about work lately, and it's been tough for me to manage everything. I appreciate your support. Celebrate achievements together. Celebrate milestones and achievements, both big and small. Recognition of accomplishments fosters a sense of partnership and mutual support. Example: let's celebrate your promotion this weekend. You've worked so hard for this. Conclusion. Persuasion in personal relationships is an art that requires practice, empathy, and effective communication. By applying the strategies outlined in this chapter, you can influence family, friends, and partners positively while fostering deeper connections. Remember, the goal of persuasion in personal relationships is not merely to get what you want, but to enhance mutual understanding and build stronger, healthier bonds. As we move to the next chapter, we will explore how to apply these persuasive skills in a professional context, focusing on influencing colleagues, clients, and stakeholders effectively. Through these techniques, you will learn to navigate the complexities of business relationships with confidence and integrity. Chapter 11. Persuasion in Business. In the fast-paced world of business, the ability to persuade effectively can set you apart from the competition. Whether you're pitching an idea to a client, negotiating with a colleague, or inspiring your team, the art of persuasion plays a crucial role in achieving your professional goals. This chapter will delve into strategies for influencing colleagues, clients, and stakeholders, emphasizing the importance of persuasive presentations and pitches. The role of persuasion in business. Persuasion is not just about getting people to agree with you, it's about building relationships, fostering collaboration, and creating an environment where ideas can thrive. In business, the ability to persuade can lead to successful negotiations, effective team dynamics, and satisfied clients. Here's how. Driving sales. Persuasion is essential in sales processes, as it involves convincing potential clients that your product or service meets their needs. Facilitating collaboration. In team settings, persuasion fosters cooperation and alignment, ensuring that all members work towards common goals. Influencing decision-making. Leaders and managers often need to persuade stakeholders to support their initiatives, whether it's a new project or a shift in strategy. Negotiating deals. Successful negotiations require persuasive skills to advocate for your interests while finding mutually beneficial outcomes. Understanding your audience. The foundation of effective persuasion lies in understanding your audience. Whether you're speaking to clients, colleagues, or stakeholders, knowing their interests, motivations, and concerns will enable you to tailor your approach for maximum impact. Research and analysis. Before any presentation or negotiation, conduct thorough research on your audience. Understand their backgrounds, needs, and any potential objections they may have. Identifying pain points. What challenges or problems does your audience face? Identifying these pain points allows you to position your proposal as a solution. Tailoring your message. Adapt your communication style based on your audience. A technical team may appreciate data-driven arguments, while a marketing team might respond better to creative storytelling. Crafting persuasive presentations. Effective presentations are powerful tools for persuasion. A well-crafted presentation can engage your audience and inspire action. Here are key elements to consider. Clear objectives. Start with a clear objective for your presentation. What do you want your audience to think, feel, or do by the end? Engaging opening. Capture your audience's attention from the outset. Use a surprising statistic, a relevant story, or a provocative question to draw them in. Logical structure. Organize your presentation in a logical flow. A common structure includes: Introduction. Present the topic and its relevance. Problem. Highlight the challenge or opportunity. Solution. Introduce your proposal or idea. Benefits. Explain how it addresses the problem and its advantages. Conclusion. Summarize key points and call to action. Use of visual aids. Visuals can enhance your message and make it more memorable. Use slides, charts, or videos strategically to support your points without overwhelming your audience. Compelling storytelling. Incorporate storytelling techniques to create an emotional connection. Share case studies or testimonials that illustrate the effectiveness of your proposal. Practice and delivery. Rehearse your presentation multiple times. Pay attention to your body language, tone of voice, and pacing. A confident delivery can significantly impact your persuasiveness. Techniques for influencing colleagues. Influencing colleagues requires a blend of communication skills, emotional intelligence, and collaboration. Here are effective techniques. Build relationships, establish rapport with your colleagues. Take the time to get to know them personally and professionally, which fosters trust and openness. Led by example, demonstrate the behaviors and attitudes you wish to inspire in others. Your actions can influence your colleagues' perspectives and motivation. Encourage participation, involve your colleagues in discussions and decision-making. When people feel heard and valued, they are more likely to support collective goals. Use collaborative language, frame discussions around teamwork and collaboration. Use inclusive language that emphasizes we instead of I to create a sense of unity. Provide constructive feedback, offer feedback in a way that focuses on growth and improvement. Use the sandwich approach, start with a positive comment, address areas for improvement, and conclude with encouragement. Celebrate successes, recognize and celebrate achievements within the team. Acknowledging contributions boosts morale and motivates colleagues to continue working together. Negotiation tactics for persuasive success. Negotiation is an art that combines persuasion, strategy, and compromise. To enhance your negotiation skills, consider the following tactics. Prepare thoroughly. Before entering a negotiation, prepare by outlining your objectives, interests, and potential concessions. Understanding the other party's needs and objectives is equally important. Build rapport. Establishing a positive relationship with the other party can create a collaborative atmosphere. Use small talk or find common ground before delving into the negotiation. Listen actively. During negotiations, listen attentively to the other party's concerns and interests. Active listening demonstrates respect and can provide valuable insights for crafting solutions. Frame your proposals. Present your proposals in a way that highlights the benefits to the other party. Show how your proposal aligns with their goals and needs. Use the BATNA concept. BATNA stands for Best Alternative to a Negotiated Agreement. Understand your best alternatives if negotiations fail, as this knowledge empowers you to negotiate from a position of strength. Be willing to compromise. Flexibility is key in negotiations. Be open to finding middle ground and consider creative solutions that satisfy both parties' interests. Know when to walk away. Not every negotiation will lead to a successful outcome. If the terms do not meet your minimum requirements, be prepared to walk away and explore other opportunities. Persuasion in client relationships. Building strong client relationships is essential for business success. Persuasion plays a vital role in acquiring and retaining clients. Here are strategies for effective client influence. Understand client needs. Conduct thorough assessments of client needs and preferences. Tailor your offerings to align with their specific requirements. Communicate value. Clearly articulate the value proposition of your product or service. Highlight how it solves the client's problems or enhances their business. Personalize interactions. Treat each client as an individual. Personalization creates a sense of connection and shows that you value their business. Follow up and check in. After a sale, maintain communication with clients to ensure satisfaction. Regular check-ins show commitment and help address any concerns proactively. Solicit feedback. Encourage clients to provide feedback on their experiences. This demonstrates that you value their opinions and are committed to continuous improvement. Build long-term relationships. Focus on nurturing long-term relationships rather than short-term transactions. Provide ongoing support and look for opportunities to add value beyond the initial sale. Building a persuasive culture. To foster a culture of persuasion within your organization, consider these initiatives. Training and development. Provide training programs focused on persuasive communication, negotiation, and relationship building skills. Invest in your team's professional growth. Encourage open dialogue. Create an environment where team members feel comfortable sharing ideas and opinions. Open dialogue promotes collaboration and creativity. Recognize persuasive achievements. Celebrate individuals or teams that demonstrate exceptional persuasive skills. Recognizing these efforts encourages others to develop their own abilities. Led by example, leaders should model persuasive behaviors and effective communication. When leaders prioritize persuasion, it becomes a cultural norm within the organization. Solicit employee input, involve employees in decision-making processes. When team members feel valued, they are more likely to engage positively and influence others effectively. Conclusion. In business, the ability to persuade is not merely a valuable skill, it is essential for success. Whether you're influencing colleagues, negotiating deals, or building client relationships, the techniques outlined in this chapter will empower you to navigate the complexities of the professional world with confidence and integrity. As we move on to the next chapter, we will explore the role of persuasion in leadership, focusing on how effective leaders inspire and motivate their teams while navigating change and resistance. By applying these insights, you can cultivate a persuasive leadership style that drives organizational success. Chapter 12. Persuasion in Leadership. Leadership is fundamentally about influence. The most effective leaders are not only those who possess a clear vision or strategic acumen but also those who master the art of persuasion to inspire, motivate, and guide their teams. This chapter will explore how effective leaders use persuasion to inspire and motivate teams, along with strategies for leading change and overcoming resistance. The role of persuasion in leadership. Persuasion is essential in leadership for several reasons. Inspiring action. Leaders need to inspire their teams to act toward a common goal. Persuasive communication can ignite passion and commitment among team members. Facilitating change. Change is often met with resistance. Leaders must use persuasion to help their teams understand the necessity of change and motivate them to embrace it. Building relationships. Effective leadership relies on building trust and rapport. Persuasion enables leaders to connect with their team members on a personal level. Creating a shared vision. Leaders must persuade others to see the vision and values of the organization. This alignment fosters a strong sense of purpose and direction. Understanding the leadership context. Before a leader can effectively persuade their team, they must understand the context in which they operate. This includes team dynamics. Recognizing the strengths, weaknesses, and dynamics of the team can help tailor persuasive messages to individual members. Organizational culture. Leaders should be aware of the cultural norms and values within their organization. Understanding these elements will help align persuasive strategies with the existing culture. External influences. Factors such as market trends, competitive landscape, and economic conditions can impact how persuasive strategies are received by the team. Key persuasive strategies for leaders. Effective leaders employ various persuasive strategies to influence their teams. Here are some of the most impactful techniques. Articulate a clear vision. Define the vision. A clear and compelling vision provides direction. Leaders should articulate what the future looks like and why it matters. Use inspiring language. The words leaders choose can inspire or demotivate. Use positive, uplifting language that evokes excitement and enthusiasm. Led by example. Model behavior. Demonstrating the behaviors and attitudes you expect from your team can persuade them to follow suit. Walk the talk. Show vulnerability. Authenticity builds trust. Being open about your challenges and uncertainties can encourage your team to engage more openly. Engage in active listening. Seek input. Encourage team members to share their ideas and opinions. When individuals feel heard, they are more likely to support the leader's initiatives. Address concerns. Actively listening to concerns and feedback demonstrates that you value their perspectives, which enhances your persuasive credibility. Build trust and credibility. Be consistent. Consistency in words and actions fosters trust. Ensure that your decisions align with your stated values and vision. Share knowledge. Position yourself as a knowledgeable resource. When team members view you as an expert, they are more likely to accept your influence. Use emotional appeals. Connect emotionally. share stories that resonate on an emotional level. Personal anecdotes can illustrate points more effectively than data alone. Appeal to values, align your persuasive messages with the values and beliefs of your team members. Highlight how the vision or change aligns with what they care about. Create a sense of urgency. Communicate time sensitivity, highlight the importance of acting now rather than later. Use data or examples to illustrate potential missed opportunities. Use scarcity principles, demonstrating that opportunities are limited can motivate action. Emphasize the benefits of acting quickly. Empower and involve others. Delegate authority, involving team members in decision-making empowers them and fosters a sense of ownership over outcomes. Celebrate contributions, recognize and celebrate the achievements of team members. Acknowledgement reinforces positive behavior and motivates continued engagement. Develop a collaborative atmosphere. Encourage teamwork, promote collaboration by creating opportunities for team members to work together on projects or problem solving. Facilitate open dialogue, create a safe space for discussion and feedback. When team members feel comfortable sharing ideas, they are more likely to contribute positively. Leading change with persuasion. Change is a constant in any organization, but it often encounters resistance. Effective leaders use persuasion to guide their teams through transitions. Here are strategies to lead change successfully. Communicate the why. Explain the rationale, clearly communicate why change is necessary. Highlight the benefits for both the organization and the individuals involved. Use data and stories, support your rationale with data and compelling narratives that illustrate the potential impact of the change. Address resistance head-on. Acknowledge concerns, validate the concerns of team members. Avoid dismissing their feelings, instead, address them openly and constructively. Involve stakeholders early, engage team members in the change process from the beginning. When they have a say in how change unfolds, they are more likely to buy into it. Provide support and resources. Offer training, equip your team with the skills and knowledge necessary to adapt to the change. This reduces anxiety and increases confidence. Be available, make yourself available for questions and support. Demonstrating that you care about their experience can alleviate concerns. Celebrate milestones. Acknowledge progress, celebrate small wins along the way. Recognizing progress keeps morale high and motivates continued effort. Communicate success stories, share examples of how the change has positively impacted individuals or teams. This reinforces the benefits of the transition. Foster a growth mindset. Encourage adaptability, promote a culture that values learning and growth. Encourage team members to view challenges as opportunities for development. Reward innovation, recognize and reward creative solutions that emerge during the change process. This encourages team members to contribute positively. Overcoming resistance. Resistance to persuasion is a natural human response. Leaders often face pushback when trying to influence their teams. Here are strategies for overcoming this resistance. Identify the root causes. Understand motivations, take time to understand the underlying reasons for resistance. Are team members afraid of change, uncertain about their roles, or skeptical of the leader's intentions? Conduct open discussions, create forums for team members to voice their concerns and ask questions. This can clarify misunderstandings and reduce resistance. Reframe the conversation. Focus on benefits, shift the discussion from what team members might lose to what they stand to gain. Highlight positive outcomes that arise from the proposed changes. Use positive language, frame discussions around hope and potential rather than fear and loss. Use language that inspires optimism. Empathize and validate feelings. Acknowledge emotions, show empathy toward team members' feelings about the changes. Validating their emotions fosters trust and opens the door to more constructive dialogue. Share your own experiences, be open about your experiences with change, including challenges and successes. This demonstrates relatability and can help ease fears. Provide clear and consistent messaging. Reiterate key messages. Consistency is crucial in persuasion. Reiterate your core messages regularly to reinforce understanding and acceptance. Use multiple channels. Deliver your messages through various channels, meetings, emails, informal chats, to ensure everyone receives the information. Be patient and persistent. Allow time for adjustment. Recognize that acceptance may take time. Give team members space to process information and come to terms with changes. Follow up. Check in with team members regularly to address concerns and reinforce positive messages. Continued engagement fosters acceptance over time. Conclusion. In the realm of leadership, mastering the art of persuasion is not just beneficial, it is essential for driving success, fostering a positive organizational culture, and navigating change. Effective leaders inspire their teams through clear communication, emotional connections, and a collaborative atmosphere. By employing the persuasive strategies discussed in this chapter, leaders can create an environment where individuals feel valued, motivated, and empowered to contribute to the collective vision. As we transition to the next chapter, we will explore how to identify and address objections effectively, an essential skill for overcoming resistance and further enhancing your persuasive abilities. Chapter 13. Identifying and addressing objections. In the journey of persuasion, encountering objections is inevitable. Whether you're persuading a friend, colleague, or a group, objections can arise from differing viewpoints, concerns, or misunderstandings. Mastering the art of identifying and addressing these objections is crucial for persuasive success. This chapter will guide you through the strategies needed to recognize objections, understand their origins, and respond effectively to move closer to your persuasive goals. The nature of objections. An objection is not necessarily a rejection. Instead, it often signals a need for further clarification or reassurance. People raise objections when they have doubts, concerns, or fears about a proposal. Common types of objections include logical objections. These are based on facts, figures, or logical reasoning. They often require clarifying specific details, correcting misunderstandings, or providing further data. Emotional objections. These objections stem from feelings, fears, or personal experiences. People might object due to concerns about risk, uncertainty, or loss of control. Resource objections. Concerns about time, money, or resources can be prevalent, especially in business or project-based contexts. Addressing these requires demonstrating the value and feasibility of your proposal. Authority objections. Some objections arise from concerns over who is making the decision or whether the person proposing an idea has the authority or credibility. Building rapport and establishing trust are critical to overcoming this. Social objections. Social influence plays a significant role in decision-making. People may object if they perceive that others might disapprove or if they feel pressured by social norms. Understanding the type of objection can help you tailor your response to address the underlying concern effectively. Step 1. Proactively identifying potential objections. Anticipating objections before they arise enables you to build a stronger, more compelling argument from the start. Here are some techniques for identifying potential objections. Put yourself in their shoes. Take a moment to consider the perspective of your audience. What concerns would you have if you were in their position? By thinking through possible hesitations, you can prepare for them in advance. Ask clarifying questions. During your persuasive effort, ask open-ended questions that invite your audience to share their thoughts and concerns. Questions such as, "What do you think about this proposal?" or, "Are there any areas where you have concerns?" can reveal potential objections early. Analyze past interactions. Reflect on similar persuasive situations. Have you encountered specific objections before? Knowing common concerns associated with your proposal allows you to anticipate and address them proactively. Observe nonverbal cues. Pay attention to body language and tone of voice. Signs of hesitation, such as crossed arms, lack of eye contact, or a withdrawn demeanor, can indicate underlying objections. Use feedback loops. Encourage feedback at various stages of your presentation or discussion. When people feel comfortable expressing their concerns early on, it can lead to a more collaborative and effective outcome. Step 2. Understanding the root cause of objections. Once an objection is raised, understanding its origin is key to addressing it effectively. Use these methods to delve deeper. Ask follow-up questions. When someone raises an objection, follow up with questions that probe further. For example, if they express concern over cost, ask, "What specifically about the cost worries you?" or, "Is there a particular aspect of the budget that seems unrealistic?" Use active listening. Listen attentively without interrupting. Active listening builds trust and demonstrates respect for the other person's viewpoint, which often reduces resistance. Reflect and validate. Show empathy by reflecting their concerns back to them. Phrases like, "I understand why you might feel that way," or, "It sounds like you're concerned about," validate their feelings and make them more open to your perspective. Consider underlying motives. Sometimes, the stated objection may not be the real issue. For example, a hesitation to commit may reflect a fear of change rather than a lack of resources. Digging deeper through questioning can help reveal the true concerns. Step 3. Addressing objections with confidence and empathy. Once you've identified and understood an objection, the next step is addressing it effectively. Here are strategies for responding to objections. Provide evidence and examples. Use data. When objections are logical or factual, provide statistics, case studies, or research that supports your position. For example, if cost is a concern, show data demonstrating the return on investment. Offer success stories. Share examples of similar situations where your proposal led to positive outcomes. Success stories provide relatable proof and help diminish doubts. Acknowledge and reframe concerns. Validate the concern, acknowledge the objection without downplaying it. For example, say, "I can see why you'd be concerned about the time commitment required." Reframe to highlight benefits. Redirect the focus to how your proposal can address the concern. For instance, while this project requires an initial time investment, it will save us time in the long run by streamlining processes. Break down complex objections. Simplify the issue. If the objection involves a complex issue, break it down into manageable parts. Addressing each part individually can make the objection feel less overwhelming. Provide step-by-step solutions. Outline how you plan to address each aspect of the objection. For example, if someone objects to a lengthy implementation timeline, explain how each phase of the project is structured to mitigate that concern. Create a win-win scenario. Offer a compromise. If possible, find a middle ground that addresses the objection while maintaining your proposal's core benefits. A compromise shows flexibility and consideration for their concerns. Show long-term value. Emphasize the lasting benefits of your proposal. If someone objects due to a short-term inconvenience, demonstrate how it leads to long-term gains. Use emotional appeal with care. Align with values. If appropriate, align your response with values that matter to the person, such as security, growth, or family. Highlighting how your proposal aligns with their values can resonate on a deeper level. Express confidence and enthusiasm. Show conviction in your proposal's potential. Enthusiasm is contagious, and a positive attitude can help alleviate doubts. Step 4. Following up after addressing objections. Following up reinforces your message and addresses any lingering concerns. Here's how to follow up effectively. Reconfirm agreement. After addressing an objection, ask a confirming question to ensure they're comfortable moving forward. Phrases like, "Does this help alleviate your concern?" invite them to express any remaining doubts. Offer additional resources. Provide supplemental information, such as documents, links, or studies that support your response. This shows thoroughness and allows them to review details on their own time. Schedule a follow-up meeting. When possible, schedule a follow-up discussion to answer any additional questions. This demonstrates commitment to ensuring their comfort and confidence. Express appreciation, thank them for voicing their concerns and taking the time to discuss them. Expressing appreciation reinforces a positive, respectful relationship. Common objections and effective responses. Here are a few common objections with example responses. Objection: this seems too expensive. Response: I understand, budget is always a critical concern. However, when we look at the long-term return on investment, this approach has the potential to save costs in the future by increasing efficiency. Here's an example of how it's worked for similar projects. Objection: I'm worried about the time commitment. Response: that's a valid concern, especially with our team's workload. To address this, we could implement the project in stages, allowing flexibility and gradual adjustment. This way, we minimize the impact on our day-to-day responsibilities. Objection: what if this doesn't work? Response: there's always a level of risk, and I appreciate your caution. However, we've done extensive research and pilot testing, and I'd be happy to share some of the positive results we've seen so far. Additionally, we can monitor progress closely and make adjustments as needed. Objection: I'm not convinced this is necessary. Response: I understand why it might seem optional right now, but based on market trends and current feedback, this initiative could provide us with a competitive advantage. Here's how it aligns with our strategic goals. Conclusion: identifying and addressing objections is essential for effective persuasion. By understanding the types of objections and their underlying causes, you can respond in a way that builds trust and overcomes resistance. Addressing objections confidently and empathically not only moves you closer to your persuasive goals but also strengthens your relationship with your audience, enhancing future opportunities for influence. In the next chapter, we will examine strategies for dealing with difficult individuals, an advanced skill essential for navigating challenging persuasive encounters. Chapter 14. Dealing with difficult people. Persuading people who are resistant, skeptical, or even hostile can be one of the most challenging aspects of mastering influence. Whether in personal relationships, business settings, or public interactions, difficult people bring unique challenges that test your patience, empathy, and persuasive skill set. In this chapter, we'll explore the psychological dynamics behind difficult behavior, effective strategies for handling resistance, and techniques to turn challenging individuals into allies. Understanding why people become difficult. Difficult behavior can stem from a range of factors, such as stress, insecurity, past experiences, or even personality traits. Often, understanding the root cause of someone's resistance can help you tailor a more empathetic, effective approach. Some common reasons people exhibit challenging behaviors include fear of change. Change can trigger anxiety, leading people to resist even positive changes. This resistance often comes from a need to maintain control or stay within their comfort zones. Insecurity and low self-esteem. Individuals who feel insecure may react negatively to assert their worth or protect themselves from perceived threats, making them challenging to deal with. Previous experiences and biases. Past negative experiences may create biases, leading individuals to approach new situations or ideas with skepticism or hostility. Personality traits. Some people have naturally combative, pessimistic, or overly critical personalities. While personality traits aren't necessarily fixed, these traits can be deeply ingrained, requiring a more nuanced approach to build rapport. Need for power or control. Certain individuals seek dominance in situations, sometimes as a way to establish authority or feel in control. They might resist influence as a way to assert themselves. Key strategies for handling difficult people. Knowing how to manage difficult behavior is crucial to effective persuasion. Let's explore strategies that foster patience, empathy, and assertiveness to influence difficult individuals effectively. 1. Practicing empathy and active listening. Active listening and empathy are foundational skills for building rapport with challenging individuals. When people feel heard, they are more likely to soften their stance and open up to dialogue. Mirror and reflect. Use reflective listening by repeating or paraphrasing what the person has said to show that you understand. For example, if they say, "This approach just won't work," respond with, "It sounds like you're concerned about the feasibility of this approach. Can you share more about your concerns?" Acknowledge their feelings, recognize and validate their emotions, even if you don't agree. Say things like, "I understand why you'd feel frustrated," or, "It makes sense that you'd be cautious about this change." Ask open-ended questions. Encourage them to share more by asking open-ended questions such as, "Can you tell me more about what worries you?" This invites dialogue and shows that you value their perspective. 2. Remaining calm and avoiding escalation. In interactions with difficult people, keeping your cool is essential to avoid escalation. Staying calm demonstrates maturity and control, which can often defuse a tense situation. Take deep breaths. In moments of tension, take slow, deep breaths to remain composed. A calm demeanor can also positively influence the other person's emotions. Pause before responding. Give yourself a moment to think before responding. Pausing helps you avoid reacting impulsively and gives you time to formulate a thoughtful response. Lower your voice. Speaking in a calm, measured tone can de-escalate an argument. When you speak softly and steadily, the other person is more likely to match your tone. Use neutral body language. Avoid crossing your arms, rolling your eyes, or adopting an aggressive posture. A relaxed and open stance signals that you're not a threat. 3. Setting boundaries and maintaining assertiveness. With some difficult people, it's crucial to set boundaries to prevent them from dominating the conversation or treating you disrespectfully. Assertiveness, when combined with empathy, can help you maintain respect and control in these situations. Be clear and direct. If someone repeatedly interrupts or disregards your views, calmly state, "I'd like to finish my point, and then I'd love to hear your thoughts." Assertive communication is respectful but firm, establishing that your perspective matters. Use "I" statements. Rather than accusing or blaming, focus on expressing your feelings. For instance, say, "I feel that my point of view isn't being considered," instead of, "You're not listening to me." Set limits on negative behavior. If someone is being particularly aggressive or dismissive, it's okay to set boundaries. You might say, "I'd like us to keep this conversation respectful. I think we'll be able to make more progress that way." Know when to walk away. Sometimes, disengaging is the best option. Politely but firmly ending the conversation when it becomes too heated allows you to regroup and reapproach later if necessary. 4. Using humor to diffuse tension. Appropriate humor can be a powerful tool for diffusing tension, softening resistance, and breaking down barriers with difficult individuals. Humor lightens the mood and can help you find common ground. Keep it light and positive. Use light-hearted, non-sarcastic humor to ease the conversation. For instance, if someone is overly critical, you might say, "You're right. I forgot my crystal ball this morning." This can help make a point without coming off as confrontational. Laugh at yourself. Self-deprecating humor can demonstrate humility and show that you don't take yourself too seriously. This can help you connect with others on a more personal level. Know your audience. Be mindful of your audience's sense of humor and sensitivity. Avoid any jokes that could be perceived as offensive or dismissive, as these can backfire and increase resistance. 5. Reframing objections as opportunities for collaboration. When objections arise, reframe them as opportunities for collaboration rather than conflict. This approach helps others feel valued and included in the decision-making process. Turn objections into questions. If someone raises an objection, such as, "I don't see this working," respond with, "What would need to happen to make it work for you?" This transforms resistance into constructive dialogue. Encourage ownership. Invite them to participate in finding solutions by asking, "How do you think we could address this concern?" This fosters a collaborative spirit and reduces defensiveness. Present objections as shared challenges. Reframe their objection as a shared challenge to overcome together. For instance, say, "It sounds like we both want to ensure this project's success. Let's explore how we can make it work." 6. Providing information to reduce uncertainty. Difficult people often resist due to uncertainty or fear of the unknown. Providing clear, detailed information can help alleviate these fears and increase openness. Explain the rationale. Sometimes resistance stems from a lack of understanding. Be transparent about the reasons behind your proposal or perspective. When people understand the why, they are often more receptive to the how. Show evidence of success. Share success stories, case studies, or data that demonstrate the effectiveness of your approach. Concrete evidence helps difficult individuals feel more confident in your proposal. Outline next steps and expectations. Providing a clear roadmap of what to expect can ease anxiety about uncertainty. Describe each step and how you'll address potential concerns along the way. 7. Developing emotional resilience and patience. Influencing difficult people requires emotional resilience and the ability to remain patient, even when faced with hostility or negativity. Practice self-reflection. Reflect on your responses to difficult situations. Ask yourself, did I remain calm? Could I have responded more effectively? Self-reflection helps you improve your approach over time. Build emotional resilience. Techniques such as mindfulness, meditation, and journaling can help you stay centered and maintain perspective, even in challenging interactions. Celebrate small wins. Dealing with difficult people is often about making incremental progress. Recognize and celebrate each small step forward as a victory in your journey to persuade and influence effectively. Stay committed to your values. When facing resistance, remember the principles and values that guide your actions. Maintaining your integrity helps you stay grounded and confident in your approach. Conclusion. Mastering the art of patience and persistence. Influencing difficult people is one of the most complex and rewarding skills in the art of persuasion. Each challenging interaction provides an opportunity to build patience, resilience, and adaptability. By combining empathy with assertiveness, maintaining a calm demeanor, setting boundaries, and reframing objections as opportunities for collaboration, you can turn even the most challenging individuals into valuable allies. Ultimately, mastering the art of dealing with difficult people allows you to influence effectively in any situation, building stronger, more meaningful relationships and creating lasting change. Conclusion. Your path to persuasion mastery. Mastering the art of persuasion is an invaluable skill that extends beyond influence. It is a journey toward understanding human nature, fostering authentic connections, and inspiring change in meaningful ways. As we conclude this guide, we revisit the core lessons in this pursuit and outline a path forward. Persuasion is not simply about convincing others but about creating genuine impact, building trust, and nurturing relationships that foster positive outcomes. Revisiting key lessons in persuasion. This book has walked you through each dimension of persuasion, beginning with an understanding of the foundational psychology behind influence and progressing through practical skills, advanced techniques, and real-world applications. Below, we review the fundamental insights from each section and explore how they build on one another to create a powerful framework for persuasion. Understanding the psychology of influence. In understanding why people say yes, we uncovered the psychological drivers behind decision-making, such as biases, emotional triggers, and social dynamics. We identified 7 foundational principles: reciprocity, scarcity, authority, commitment, consistency, liking, and consensus, that act as psychological levers in persuasive interactions. Recognizing these elements allows you to frame your persuasive efforts in ways that align naturally with human instincts and tendencies, ultimately making your influence more subtle yet impactful. Building core persuasive skills. Persuasion is ineffective without fundamental skills like active listening, clear communication, and trust building. The art of listening enhances your ability to understand others' perspectives, needs, and desires, creating a foundation for effective influence. Through effective communication, you can express your ideas concisely, use nonverbal cues to reinforce your message and resonate with your audience. Building trust and rapport, meanwhile, anchors persuasion in authenticity, making your influence efforts not only more successful but also more ethically sound. Advanced persuasion techniques. Beyond the basics, techniques like storytelling, emotional appeals, and strategic negotiation create compelling and memorable messages. Storytelling allows you to craft narratives that resonate emotionally, creating empathy and connection. Emotional appeals tap into the heart of decision-making, allowing you to balance logic with feeling in a way that prompts action. Negotiation tactics enable you to reach mutually beneficial outcomes, fostering cooperation rather than confrontation and creating enduring relationships. Real-world application of persuasion. Persuasion is integral to personal relationships, business environments, and leadership. In personal relationships, persuasion is about fostering harmony, understanding, and conflict resolution. Within business contexts, persuasion strengthens collaboration, influences stakeholders, and enhances presentation effectiveness. In leadership, the art of persuasion helps to inspire and motivate, enabling leaders to implement change and guide others toward shared goals. Overcoming resistance. Finally, learning how to handle objections and deal with difficult people teaches us patience, adaptability, and resilience. Anticipating objections and reframing them allows for constructive dialogue rather than confrontation. Dealing with difficult individuals, whether in personal or professional settings, challenges us to master the art of patience and persistence while maintaining respect and empathy. Action plan for continuous improvement. To truly master persuasion, practice and reflection are essential. The following action plan will guide you as you refine your skills, deepen your understanding, and apply what you've learned in real-world scenarios. Set specific persuasion goals. Begin by identifying concrete goals where persuasion can make a difference. This could include strengthening a relationship, improving your influence at work, or leading a team through change. Define what success looks like for each goal. For example, improving team collaboration by influencing a cooperative mindset or building trust with a skeptical client. Practice active listening daily. Make active listening a daily practice by focusing entirely on the person speaking, reflecting back what you hear, and asking clarifying questions. This habit improves your understanding of others' needs and concerns, making your persuasive efforts more personalized and effective. Develop your storytelling skills. Work on crafting narratives that communicate your ideas in a memorable way. Start with personal anecdotes, case studies, or relevant stories from your industry. Focus on creating stories that illustrate not just facts but emotions and human experiences that resonate with your audience. Seek constructive feedback. Regular feedback is essential for growth. Ask trusted colleagues, friends, or mentors for feedback on your persuasive techniques. Listen for both positive and negative input, and use it to refine your approach. Self-reflection is powerful, but external insights can reveal blind spots you may miss on your own. Commit to ethical persuasion. Make a personal commitment to ethical persuasion practices. When influencing others, ensure that your methods are aligned with integrity, respect, and honesty. Ethical persuasion strengthens long-term relationships, builds genuine trust, and ensures that your influence has a positive, constructive impact on others. Track your progress and adjust. Keep a journal to track your progress, noting successes and areas for improvement in each interaction. Regularly review your notes to identify patterns and refine your approach. Adjust your strategies based on your observations. For instance, if emotional appeals resonate more with certain individuals, make this a stronger focus in future interactions with similar audiences. Developing long-term resilience and patience. The path to mastering persuasion is a long one, requiring patience, resilience, and adaptability. There will be times when your influence attempts do not yield the desired outcome, but each setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Building resilience allows you to approach each interaction with renewed confidence, adapt your techniques, and refine your style over time. Learn from every interaction, treat every interaction as a learning opportunity. Even if you fail to persuade someone, analyze the interaction to identify what could be improved. Build a support system, surround yourself with mentors, peers, or friends who understand the art of influence. Engage in discussions, workshops, or seminars on persuasive communication to stay motivated and inspired. Celebrate incremental progress, recognize the value of each small improvement. Influence and persuasion are complex arts, and every step forward is a win worth celebrating. Embracing the power of persuasion. As you continue your journey toward persuasion mastery, remember that influence is not a mere tool but a profound opportunity to create meaningful change. Persuasion allows you to advocate for what you believe in, inspire others to reach their potential, and build stronger, more fulfilling relationships. At its heart, persuasion is about aligning your vision with the needs and desires of those you engage, creating outcomes that benefit both you and others. In a world filled with competing ideas and diverse perspectives, the ability to persuade effectively, and ethically, sets you apart. It empowers you to communicate more openly, listen more intently, and collaborate more purposefully. By following the principles outlined in this guide, honing your skills, and committing to lifelong learning, you'll continue to grow as an influential, impactful communicator who navigates the complexities of human interaction with confidence, empathy, and purpose. Congratulations on embarking on this journey. Your path to persuasion mastery is not just about achieving your desires, it's about becoming a positive force in your interactions and leaving a lasting, constructive influence on those around you. The art of persuasion awaits. Go forth and make your mark.